Appreciate it. So I'm going to start off by saying an 8-word sentence that I don't think you may have ever heard someone say before on an e-commerce webinar. And that is that transactional email and SMS are CLV growth levers. We're going to spend the next few minutes unpacking why this 8-word sentence is true. And then I want to pull back the curtain and really talk about why leading direct-to-consumer brands are investing in owning and optimizing the transactional experience as a way to grow customer engagement and lifetime value. So, hi friends, as mentioned at the top of the hour here, my name is Blake Imperl. I head merchant enablement over at Wonderment. Previously, I was at an SMS platform called Attentive, but most of my background has been spent on the direct consumer brand side. Spent a lot of time there building and scaling retention marketing programs for D2C brands, but now I'm really just focused on helping others to get the most out of owned channels like email and SMS. There's really just two things I want you to take away from my talk today. And it's one, to help you to understand the opportunity at hand to invest in owning and optimizing transactional. And I want to leave you with a playbook that you can implement all in less than one day to really take transactional and turn it into a CLV growth engine for you to make customers come back and buy again and again. If you're not familiar with Wonderment, who we are, what we do, the TLDR is we're just really laser focused on reinventing one of the most underutilized areas of the buyer's journey, and that is the time between purchase and arrival, or what is commonly thought of as the transactional experience. Our platform helps everyone from entrepreneurs through enterprises to really drive repeat sales and build customer engagement. We work with over 300 leading brands like Igloo, Boxu, Jones Road Beauty, Feastables, and Ridgewallet, just to name a few of our awesome and growing customer base. So I want to set the stage and define why transactional email and SMS are some of the best areas for growing customer engagement, but also really growing high margin growth. Transactional messages like email and SMS can be up to 10 times more effective at driving a visitor back to your site post-purchase than your marketing messages. This means that when we get this right, we have a huge opportunity to capture our customers' attention post-purchase to provide value and ultimately increase our engagement. Why are these customers engaging with transactional messages in the first place? Well, the average consumer checks an order status page about 4.6 times per order. This makes the order tracking page quite possibly one of the most trafficked pages in all of e-commerce. Where has all this traffic historically gone? Well, to a shipping carrier site like UPS, FedEx, DHL, etc., as you can see here. And this creates what I call the disconnected dead-end journey, meaning there's no forward motion and they're not going back to your site. You're essentially losing 4 to 5 clicks post-purchase to educate a customer, to provide helpful resources on the products they just purchased, maybe to upsell them onto something else, or even just invite them back to your site to casually browse around. But thankfully, there's a lot of really easy ways for us to own this traffic, to monetize it and take control of that transactional experience. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So when set up properly, transactional should really do a few things for you. It should drive a significant amount of traffic back to your site, increasing revenue and repeat business. It should reduce customer service inquiries and eliminate buyer's remorse in some ways. It should increase engagement in your pre-arrival excitement. And ultimately, if we do all these things right, indirectly or directly, really help to improve retention and CLV. So there's 3 areas that we're going to look at. I've talked a lot just about kind of setting all this up, but there's really 3 core pillars that bring it together. That's your transactional email, your transactional SMS, and then the glue of the whole thing is the branded tracking page. So now let's dive into each of these and really talk about what great looks like. Starting really with transactional email. These are the messages that get sent out right after the customer makes a purchase, and they're directly related to the order. You probably have a few of these set up today in a platform like Shopify, including things like maybe when a package has been shipped or when it's been delivered. And as mentioned, customers are engaging with these emails up to 10 times more than your post-purchase marketing messages. In fact, we're seeing, based on our data, about 60 to 80% open rates on these emails and about 10 to 20% click-through rates. Merchants are really starting to notice the engagement stats here and going all in on optimizing and owning this experience to make sure that the transactional messages are actually the focus of that pre-arrival post-purchase experience. If you want to find a place where your customers are going to see something, it's probably your transactional emails. This is the real estate that you have to educate, inform, and add a lot of value to the customer. And these are all behaviors that we know can help to direct and really increase that CLV. Each of these clicks too cost probably fractions of a penny for you, meaning they can be a great post-purchase retargeting tool solving yet another problem that we have post-purchase, which is actually just driving cheap traffic back to our site. As you can see here, these emails drive a lot of revenue in addition to a great engagement. There's a few reasons why they drive revenue, and we're going to talk about that. But here's some actual data from a Wonderment customer who's using data provided by Wonderment to power their transactional email experience. And not only are these emails seeing great engagement, but they're driving 5-figure monthly revenue. This revenue impact is also pretty much felt immediately once you optimize this experience, really helping you to capture more bottom line revenue. And I'd ask you, what would you be doing if you could drive an extra 3, 4, 5-figure monthly revenue just from transactional emails? It could be significant on your business. So we've seen the stats, they get highly engaged. We know these emails are being engaged. And when we think about the fact that 8 out of 10 customers are potentially seeing these emails post-purchase, really begs the question of whether you want to be sending a standard Shopify or vanilla template as seen on the left here, versus what you could look like if you really go in on branding and creating a great experience. So with out-of-the-box templates with a platform like Shopify, which many of you might have set up today, you're really unable to do a few things that really help to make that really great experience for a customer. And that's being able to control the branding, to measure performance, to A/B test, to easily segment and really personalize these messages to deliver that great experience. And this is why a lot of merchants will actually prefer to leverage a platform like Klaviyo for their email service provider, and then use Wonderment data to power that whole experience plus the tracking page to really create that great experience. So on the left, again, we see the standard vanilla template versus what's possible if you leverage Klaviyo and Wonderment together. This Ouroboros example really illustrates just how powerful a transactional email can be. And I'd ask you, which experience would you want your customers to be experiencing, the one on the left or the one on the right? Again, similar kind of compare and contrast here. Duradry and Baboon to the Moon are 2 great brands that we work with who have gone in on investing in that kind of branded experience. Comparing and contrasting to that left again. This is really just illustrating why transactional can be really effective and have that real estate to really tell the brand story. These are what I call like the core 6 transactional emails. We don't have time to dive into each of these, unfortunately, today, but here's a high-level overview of just kind of what you can expect to be sending. You can find an entire in-depth walkthrough on our website, wonderment.com. Just look for the playbook to transactional email and SMS under our resources dropdown. I wrote an entire playbook just about outlining how to set all of these up. But now that we really know about the experience and what some of these emails are, let's actually talk about how they drive repeat sales. And we do this by linking our transactional messages to a branded order tracking page. Remember, I mentioned just a few moments ago that the average consumer is checking that status page about 4 to 5 times pre-delivery, making this a huge traffic page for an e-commerce store. And historically, the setup has looked like this, that vanilla template linking to a carrier page. This is a dead-end experience. It's not valuable to you or the customer, really. And you can really see that this is not optimizing you for success. We compare and contrast that, here with this example of what a branded setup looks like. This is what we've been solving for here at Wonderment, giving you control back of that tracking page so it natively lives on your site and it's linked from all of those tracking pages. This is what I believe has been the missing CLV growth lever in the transactional setup. So these pages can be created in, just really no time at all, yet look and feel on brand and help you to own the post-click experience. Again, this is like the glue that brings together all of that transactional kind of data. You can see here too, about a 1% conversion rate we're seeing on these tracking pages. Obviously we're looking to be helpful, but these are actually driving revenue in addition to all that great engagement. Here's some real stats from a customer that we work with. They're seeing, just obviously great engagement, but driving an additional $17,000 a month in profitable revenue over the last 30 days from their order tracking page. This is a great way for us to soft sell additional products without really being spammy in nature. So I want to take a quick look now too at what makes these tracking pages so effective. Here's 2 examples from Wonderment customers, Duradry and Kinder Beauty. They cleanly display information about their order, obviously to be helpful, FAQs related to that order, but then they also give us the opportunity to use things like upsell, cross-sell blocks, which we've seen are highly effective at introducing new products and influencing kind of that repeat purchase behavior. One last time, let's compare and contrast the old tracking page versus the different, branded tracking page experience that we can set up. This is really why, transactional emails plus a tracking page is helping us to maximize that on-site engagement and really get a customer to have a lot of helpful resources at their fingertips. So now that we kind of talked about what tracking pages do at like a basic level, my third tip here is really actually just taking the tracking page even further. So the other really cool superpower about these tracking pages that we're linking from our transactional messages is that they actually help us to increase awareness to other parts of our business too. We can put things like ways to reorder, educate or onboard a customer on the brand, maybe the products they just purchased, get them to opt into, an SMS, a loyalty, a referral program, or even talk about your subscription offerings. These are really your real estate areas to promote what you want, to promote your tech stack and make the customer have all those helpful resources at their fingertips. Here's a couple examples of what some of our customers have done on their tracking pages. As mentioned, there's so many things that you can do, and this is your real estate. But my personal favorite is the example on the upper left from Popov Leather. They're actually just putting a quiz on this tracking page and trying to learn more about the customer, that they can grab that zero-party preference data and then use that data intelligently downstream to maybe retarget the customer in a totally different experience. So just a lot of great opportunity for us to be able to take that tracking page in a more run sort of phase. So I want to transition to now one of my favorite areas of a transactional experience, and that's setting up transactional SMS. This is the channel we're seeing the highest engagement on right now, and it's something you definitely should consider adding on day one to your transactional strategy. So a little pop quiz if you want to get engaged in the comments. What percentage of consumers surveyed in a recent Attentive consumer study noted that they want to receive order updates via text message? Is it 39%, 51%, 13%, or 97%? Let me know in the comments below what you think the answer is. If you guessed 97%, you'd be correct. Over 97% of consumers that Attentive surveyed wanted to receive order updates via SMS, making this a huge opportunity for us to invest in. These texts can be set up in less than an hour by leveraging Wonderment data plus an SMS provider like a Klaviyo, an Attentive, or a Postscript. And as you can see, the engagement rates really speak for themselves. We're seeing 50 to 75% click-through rates on these transactional texts, making them a goldmine for driving all that traffic back to your branded order tracking page. Even the best SMS campaigns see 5-10% click-through rates, meaning you could up to 10 to 15x your potential engagement back to site post-purchase. But look, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the stats back this up too. Here's some data from a Wonderment customer over the last 30 days in the CPG space. They're driving almost $50,000 off of these texts in repeat sales just from their transactional text. It really demonstrates how great transactional SMS can be when you have a branded tracking page on the other side of that click. Here's like the core 4 SMSs that you should have implemented. And while we don't have time again to walk through each of these in great detail, you can see just a high-level overview that they span all the way from when that label has been created in the warehouse through when the package is at their front doorstep. These are the SMSs that really can be the needle movers for you. And the best part, again, these probably take no more than an hour to implement. You can see just a few lines of text and a link back to site is really all you need to get up and running. But if you're curious about what copy to use, I've actually created another free resource for you. It's the transactional SMS swipe file available on our website, wonderment.com. You can grab a lot of inspiration from brands who are already doing this and seeing what they're really building with these experiences. So you can get some inspiration of your own, really, to kind of see what great looks like there. Here's just a few examples. This is Calpac. They're a customer that we work with. You can see how simple but effective this is. Just a few lines of text. They're linking back to that tracking page and letting that customer have all the helpful information right there from that text. Igloo, another brand that we work with, they sell coolers. And you can see here too, they're letting the customer know that their order is out for arrival today. We especially see an uptick in SMS engagement during that last mile delivery. And often merchants will actually use SMS as that last mile notification vessel to make sure the customer is engaging and that they know that their stuff is out for arrival that day. The key takeaway of why transactional SMS is so great, though, is you're really combining a few things. It's a channel that has high engagement affinity, as we saw by the data. You're also directing all that traffic back to that branded tracking page then, where they can really take action, have all that helpful information, and kind of create that sort of symbiotic relationship with the customer. And when you combine text into your transactional strategy, it really helps to add that revenue component, but also really elevate the customer experience. One last thing too worth noting on transactional SMS, and this is just SMS in general, it's a conversational channel, and your transactional text can be conversation starters as well. Another Attentive study that I was reading said that over 70% of consumers want to receive customer service over SMS. And what a lot of our customers are doing now on text is actually just placing a text us if you have any questions to all of their order updates. And this is a great way to drop breadcrumbs with your customers that if they have questions and you do offer, customer service over text, that it's a great way for them to get in touch with you. Okay, so I want to transition to our last strategy with transactional, which is actually just about turning bad experiences into positive ones for our customers. And that's all about shipping delays. They're the worst nightmare of e-commerce merchants. Do you tell the customer? Do you not? I think it's a golden opportunity, actually, to really engage with the customer and build trust. Over 59% of consumers say that they don't want to have come back to a brand after having one negative customer service experience. Even further, here's a quote from Jeremy over at Gorgeous. They're a leading help desk solution. And this just shows how impactful customer experience can be on repeat purchase rate and lifetime value. If you don't communicate delays, chances are the customer is going to, when they do write in, they're probably not going to be very happy because they will write in if their stuff hasn't arrived and you're not updating them. But what's really interesting is that when we use automation to help to lead with empathy and take a proactive approach, we can really help to resolve a situation and actually create a positive engagement moment. So this is Jess Servion. She's the head of CX over at Feastables. They're a Wonderment customer, seriously awesome D2C brand in the CPG space. And Jess is just one of the many customers that we've helped to create, really taking those negative experiences around shipping delays and turn them into positive ones for her customers. Feastables, they sell chocolate. And as you can imagine, shipping delays not only make unhappy customers, but they can result in things like melted product. And what Jess and the Feastables team did was use Wonderment data to trigger two things. The first was automatically update her team that the order had been stalled. Maybe it got stuck in transit, hadn't been updated by the carrier over like 3 days, for example. And then second, what they did was they used Wonderment to automatically send emails and texts to their customers if a package had been delayed or not updated by that carrier in that 3-day window. So really getting the team ahead of it, but then also letting the customer know what's going on. And the result was really game-changing for their CX. Not only did they help solve some issues around melted product, but they also just improved that customer experience. And you can see from this quote, Jess saying she can't live without Wonderment data setting up these proactive communications. And we do this for countless merchants by helping them to build trust and loyalty through these types of communications. We can't always control shipping and logistics, but we definitely can control how and what we communicate with our customers. So a few of the things that we've done around delays is we've given you a lot of triggers instead of Klaviyo and your SMS platforms to communicate these various situations. For example, a package is stuck in transit, or maybe expedited shipping doesn't actually arrive in that window, or maybe there was an attempted delivery, but no one was home. Implementing these types of messages can actually reduce your where's my order tickets by about 40% on average, and also create that better experience that we really know is important to lifetime value. Here's just a few examples of what these look like out in the wild from Feastables and Calpac. You see they clearly communicate the issue. They let the customer know that they're handling it. And then they tell the customer what's next and link over to something like a tracking page where they can get more information. This is another example of what it could look like inside of Klaviyo. You can see that the package has been marked as stalled. And so what we'll do is we'll send an email to the customer. And then you can see on the right, we have a split where actually we use Klaviyo's notification feature to automatically email the customer service team so they're aware of the issue too. So it's similar to what I was talking about with Feastables, that you both email the customer, but then notify their internal teams as well. If you choose to lead with empathy with brands like Feastables have done and other leading D2C brands, you'll find that customers are going to gain more trust with you for communicating these types of delays and know that you really went above and beyond to value that experience. These are also the efforts that really can improve CSAT and NPS, which are all drivers of positive brand experiences. So I've got all of the time I've got today for you. I really hope you consider investing and owning your transactional experience. I really do believe it to be a CLV growth lever for your business, especially during this Q4 holiday season with potential shipping delays. With so many orders coming through too, this is really one of the lowest hanging fruits, yet will yield high quality engagement for you. Again, also highly recommend you grab a free copy of my playbook. It talks all about turning this into a CLV growth lever, available on our website, wonderment.com, under our resources section. And then also, if you want to get in touch with us and see how we can help your business, we're pleased to offer everybody here a free month of Wonderment. So you can really get up and running and get your transactional channel in a good spot ahead of the season. You can email me for that, blake@wonderment.com, or visit us, wonderment.com/demo to get in touch. But I really appreciate the time, everyone. Hope you learned a lot, and hope to see you all really soon.